Welcome to the Fleischer Forum, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for some good stuff. We got 2 hours of Fleischer coming up right after this. Oh my. I forgot all about turning the camera on and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Fleischer Forum. I'm your curator and host, your Lone Wolf Usul. I put together 2 hours of some Judge Fleischer for you this evening. And as the song gets started here, you know, as the guitar whines, keyboard cries, somebody in Texas has the blues tonight, and Judge Fleischer probably gave it to him today. And we're going to check that out right now. What do you say? Let's get it started, shall we? Oh, geez. Greetings, Mikey. You crazy people. Hey, oh, golly. Thank you so very much. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the show started, shall we? Judge Fleischer, coming up now.
Ready? Yes. Let's rock and roll. Let's roll, nerds. Good morning, everybody. Sorry I didn't say hello. Let me say.
Okay, come on up.
McLean.
Page 16.
Let's roll, nerds. You said 16?
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. McLean. Sir, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and/or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, sir. An officer initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas, after observing the defendant exceed a speed limit of 45 miles per hour and make unsafe lane changes. The defendant did not have his driver's license, but told the officer his name and date of birth. While the officer was running the defendant's name, he observed the defendant exit his vehicle, and the officer told the defendant to get back inside the vehicle. And the defendant responded, "Do I have to?" The officer exited the vehicle and attempted to detain the defendant. The defendant tensed up and locked his arms.
Everything is conclusory. What has he done wrong? What?
It was the initial lane changes, unsafe lane changes, and the exceeding the speed limit that prompted the stop. And then at that point, he was just.
Stop. How exceeding speed limit, how fast was he going? I mean,
I spoke to the officer this morning, who told me that he was pacing the defendant at 54 miles per hour.
okay, in a what?
I'm sorry?
In a what? I mean, if it's on 610, he's fine, right? And then he's interference duties. What is he interfering with? What did he do wrong?
I think it was after the stop was initiated, the officer was running the plates. The defendant stepped out of his vehicle. The officer told him to get back in the vehicle. The defendant said, "Do I have to?" The officer told me that.
And that's the basis of arrest?
See how.
Can I speak,
Your Honor.
please?
Don't. Are you losing?
No, sir.
Okay.
And Your Honor, furthermore, as he was attempting to detain him, he locked his arms and tensed up. So as he was attempting to detain him, following that incident of him telling him to get back in the vehicle. And it was
That's
that,
the basis for arrest.
it was just a
Walking
temporary
while black?
detention. He was just attempting to detain him while he was trying to
What's he
investigate.
doing wrong?
He had
What's he doing wrong?
65.
No,
It was-
I don't think so. I find no probable cause. No, it's just, he gets out of the car and then it just the virtue of fact, him getting out in the car is interfering with the duties. Really? No, just when you get into, just be careful out there, man.
Yes, sir.
Life is hard as it is.
Yes, sir.
When you get into, you gotta be careful, man.
Yes, sir.
People always have to get you. Be nice. It's not hard.
I was
Things
being
will go well for you,
Too.
Look, I got it. I'm with you, okay? Just hang tight with me for a second, okay? All right.
Next is 5 Taurus, come on up.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
You said page 25?
Yes, Judge, page 25, Taurus.
Yet another PR bond. And your case is 639 days old. Do you really think that we're just going to continue to give you PR bonds, Mr. Torres?
No, sir.
You now stand charged with evading arrest or detention. We're going to do probable cause because I don't remember your case. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Please.
On February 12th, 2023, officers observed a white pickup truck and conducted a vehicle check via MDT in which the officers received a stolen vehicle hit. The vehicle proceeded to its way through neighborhoods in which it eventually approached a dead end. Houston Police Airship Unit 78 Fox observed the entirety of the scene, and the driver was identified as the co-defendant, Francisco Navarro, parked the vehicle and exited through the driver's door. Co-defendant Luis Torres then exited the front passenger seat, and the two were evading on foot through a vacant grassy lot. Defendant Torres was apprehended about 75 yards west of the vehicle.
If I send you for a drug test now, what are you going to test positive for, Mr. Torres?
Just marijuana.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. You're to come right back. And I'm going to tell you, if you ever take off on me again, I'm going to make your bond so high, you'll start losing hair. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You will not get another one. Go take the test. You come right back. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Take a seat. I'm not having him sign a recent. This case is nearly 700 days old, but I want to know what is in the system.
Walker, come on up.
Trying to get it a little bit better in here because it's just so hot. It's ridiculous. It's like we're small farm animals.
page 25. Walker.
Be Samantha Walker. Ms. Walker, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On November 4th, 2024, an officer was dispatched to a family disturbance call at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The complainant, a 15-year-old, stated that the defendant, her mother, assaulted her after they got into a verbal argument. The complainant stated the defendant displayed verbally aggressive behavior towards her, grabbed a hold of the complainant's left wrist, and said, "If you come near me, I'll beat your ass," and began to engage in a physical altercation with the complainant. The complainant stated the defendant, using both open hands, placed the complainant in a headlock, and the complainant felt pain. Both law enforcement and CPS records indicate a history of physical altercations and verbal altercations between the complainant and the defendant, and the officer observed video footage showing the defendant acting as the primary aggressor towards the complainant and observed a minor injury cut on the complainant's left arm.
So we have prior violence, any prior charges?
There's no prior
Any,
charges,
no
Your Honor.
prior injury to a child, felony charges?
No, Your Honor.
Child means 14 years or younger. Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case.
No, Your Honor.
Don't, now's not the time, ma'am. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise that right. I've got a bunch of DAs here. Anything you say, they're gonna use it against you. Guys, what do we do about contact? You know? Yeah, well, so Michael, I need your help. You know, this is a 15-year-old child. We have a history of violence allegedly between mom and daughter.
Yes, Judge.
Now we have an assault case against a 15-year-old. And according to what Alex says, there's a history of it. It's unacceptable.
Judge.
Do you have a lawyer, ma'am?
I'll be retaining a lawyer, but there's no history of violence between us.
You're calling for a Walker?
Yes.
Which Walker?
Walker. It's in custody. Oh, thank you.
Okay.
So what my plan was, and I already spoke to my people about this, is we were going to check the offense report to see where the child was taken. Were they taken to CPS custody, state custody? Was there some other guardian? Once we're aware of where the child is, we are going to be asking for a no contact order to be granted based off of the allegations of a history.
What
of
about now?
violence.
Is there something that we can do now as far as finding out where the child is?
Well,
You know?
we're going to call CPS today and see if they're in state custody. The offense report also might indicate where it is. If not, we can call the officer and they should know.
Yeah, I'd like to, because I think it's serious. I mean, if we have a history of violence, I don't want that to happen anymore.
There's no,
I know that you're telling me no, but I have other people that are telling me differently.
I've never.
Okay, well, ma'am, don't. Now's not the time. But my primary concern is the protection of every single person in Harris County, bar none. That's it, especially if it's a child. And
I'm not a threat to my child, I promise
you
you.
are now charged with assault, ma'am, on that 15-year-old child.
I never assault.
Stop. Now's not the time. I'm just trying to tell you, if I find that there is a history of violence with the child, I'm going to order you not to have contact with this child.
I understand,
As it stands now,
but I promise there's no
I'm entering
history of
in called a
violence.
magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies EJ as a protected individual. You
I
cannot,
have to take her to appointments and stuff like that.
please listen. Okay, I know that you're trying to think of stuff to say,
No,
but
I'm
I
being
want you to
honest.
listen because this is very important stuff. And if you don't hear it correctly, you do something to violate this court order, they're going to file additional charges against you. I'm entering in an order for protection for that 15-year-old child. She's now a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon. Typically, this also comes with a residential restriction that you're not to go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. You understand? Okay, I'm entering this order now. We will try to figure out about how we go from here, but my only concern is the protection of this child. To me, nothing else matters.
She's protected.
I know that you're telling me one thing, but the evidence will show what it shows, and that's going to point to whose side is correct. So for now, I'm just going to have them reach out to see where the child is and how we go forward. So for now, I'm going to have you sign a reset, and then we'll just have you take a seat in the jury box, please. Okay? Okay. Thanks. Marcos.
I've been arraignment judge. Spanish speaker. I think we have.
Oh,
Page
hey.
20.
Mariana.
Soto,
Soto.
come on up.
Ya, she gave it to me.
Got it,
Thank you.
okay. Escuchando más. Ok, ella va a traducir todo. Ok, ok.
Francisco Javier Soto Son.
Francisco Javier Soto Sainz, yes.
Sir, you're charged with driving while
Está
intoxicated.
acusado de haber conducido ebrio.
It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow. You were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
Yes, sir. On November 5th, 2024, the officer responded to an urgent traffic hazard at Katy Freeway. Upon arriving, the officer observed the defendant asleep at the wheel of his motor vehicle while the engine was still running. The vehicle was stopped in the middle of the two moving lanes of traffic. After the officers woke him up, they observed the defendant to have bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, extremely poor balance, and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 7 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to arrest. The results were 0.226 and 0.211.
Oof. Okay, any prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
Have you run a license to see if he has one?
There's no driver's license on record.
Mr. Soto, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Tell me, are you a United States citizen?
No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
I overstayed my visa.
So you're not in this country with permission.
No.
What happens if you go to jail?
Parece que si usted va a la cárcel.
Don't tell him, Marcos. What happens if you go to jail?
Parece que usted resulta en la cárcel.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Think.
Piense.
Are you in this country with or
¿Está
without
aquí
permission?
legal o ilegal?
Ilegal.
Illegal.
Entonces,
What happens if you go to jail?
Entonces, ¿qué va a pasar si va a la cárcel?
te puede llegar a inmigración, ¿no es cierto? Sí. Decirle al juez. Puede llegar a inmigración.
Immigration should come in.
But you will sit in jail until this case is over with,
Entonces usted va a estar en la cárcel hasta que este caso se termine.
and then you will be shifted up to immigration, and you'll sit there for another 6 to 9 months.
Y va a estar ahí por de 6 a 9 meses.
This is what you have if you go to jail.
Puede pasarse.
You were lucky to get out once,
Suerte haber salido una
but if
vez.
you push your luck,
Pero si acaso,
you might not get so lucky next time.
cambiando las aguas,
I'm putting conditions on your bond now, and if you violate these conditions, I will put you in jail.
voy a encarcelar.
Do you understand?
¿Usted entiende? Yes.
You have a Texas driver license,
Pero Texas.
No.
No.
then you are not allowed to drive.
Permítame.
You will be signing a promise with me today, Mr. Soto. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if there's an emergency. I don't care if there's a baby being born. You have to say 15 kittens. You get into a car and drive. I will have a contempt hearing. You will be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car. And I promise you, any more than 4 to 6 hours, you will get it. Well, I'm not going to promise you because I don't know that for sure, but any 4 to 6 hours you spend in there, there's a very good chance you will get an immigration detainment. I am also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I will randomly test you. If you test positive for drugs or alcohol, illegal drugs or alcohol, likewise, you will go to jail. You will not get any more PR bonds.
Order in the court.
You understand?
Yes.
Yes.
You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Marcos. He will tell you when you have to come back to court. If Marcos tells me that you're playing games, you are not responding to phone calls, text messages, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. Heed this warning because you will not get any more. No drugs, no alcohol, and above all else, do not drive.
Okay.
Okay? All right, guys. Thanks. That way.
All right, Judge, next is page 24. Taylor, come on up.
Thanks.
Are you Keith Alexander Taylor Turner?
Yes, sir.
Sir, you're charged with failure to stop and give information, which
I
is,
did.
I'm trying to tell you what you're charged with. Please don't say anything. You're charged with failure to stop and give information. This is a Class B misdemeanor. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 26th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a Shell gas station on Fry Road in reference to a failure to stop and give information. Upon arrival, the officer spoke with the complainant, who advised that he was struck on the back left panel by the defendant's motor vehicle. The complainant advised the driver, the defendant, did not make any attempt to stop until he pulled next to him and advised him of the situation. That is when they pulled into the Shell gas station, and the complainant advised the officer that the defendant denied hitting his vehicle, did not want to cooperate by providing information, and said the defendant was resistant to giving his name. When the complainant advised the defendant that cops were on their way, the defendant responded saying, "I'm going to get my tacos here and I'm leaving. I don't have to give you shit." Before the defendant left, the complainant captured a photo of the defendant, his vehicle's license plate, and his vehicle. The complainant estimates the total cost of repair to be approximately $5,000.
Okay. Mr. Taylor Turner, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, sir? Can you run his license, please?
Yes, Your Honor. It's eligible.
I also see a prior evading arrest in a motor vehicle as well. The bond was set at $800,000. Any particular reason why? Something dangerous happened?
Let me see, Your Honor.
That's crazy high for a an evading. What happened?
It says that
Dead body?
there was somebody trapped inside a vehicle that had to be transported to Katy Memorial Hospital to be checked out using Harris County Rescue EMS. So yes, Your Honor. So in the evading case, it was that he was fleeing. He was going and he hit a tree after attempting to hit emergency vehicles. And then upon hitting the tree, I believe a packed passenger was trapped in the vehicle and had to be transported to medical.
Do you have liability insurance in your name, Mr. Turner?
Yeah,
Mr.
my
Taylor
insurance
Turner?
already said they're gonna take care of it.
I'm just asking you, have liability insurance in your name. How old are you, sir?
28.
What do you do for a living?
I don't work right now. I'm looking for a job.
When is the last time you've had a job? Where were you doing?
I was working at Walmart
Why'd you stop?
because I moved.
So what are you gonna do with the rest of your life?
Work.
Did you graduate from high school?
Got my GED.
Okay, you gotta do something.
I know.
You know, you're 28, you've got no prospects, you got nowhere going. You got kids? How many kids you got?
2.
Oof. Really? You gonna give me attitude?
No.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. You're to come right back. If you fail to take a drug test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to make your bond so high you'll have teeth falling out. Do you understand?
Mhm.
Take a seat for me.
I know what he pointed. Oh, that way, in the jury box.
Judge, we have another arraignment. Thank you.
Okay. Let me help. Come on up. Hi. Good morning.
Good morning. Filed the motion. I think she's got it for it's an extradition matter. I think it was rolled from yesterday to the.
Oh, you're now signing on to the case.
Yeah. No good deed goes unpunished.
It's okay.
I think this, yeah.
Hey. White from yesterday.
The one,
Remember the 24.
extradition matter out of Wisconsin.
This is the 24-year-old case.
Yes, exactly.
We've had 2 whites within the last couple days, so is this?
This is you get from yesterday.
LOUIE.
Oh, okay, Dave's actually. You just don't want these.
We need, if you don't mind hanging out a bit. Dave, do you know Dave? Okay, he's one of the prosecutors that works with extradition matters a lot.
Got it, okay.
So to speak, right? I mean, we've had this hearing yesterday. If you want to do it again, I'm happy to do it again, but
What was your decision yesterday?
I wasn't gonna give him, it's a 24-year-old case, you know, and I understand what he's saying, mom, brother, sick kid, but it's 24 years old.
Yeah.
He's had notice that he's supposed to be there, you know, it's.
I guess the motion is because, I mean, I haven't had an extradition case in years, but in the old days, I would get appointed to all of those in Montgomery County. And my understanding is until the government warrant is executed, I think it's shall.
No.
And I talked to the extradition agent in Wisconsin this morning. He said they're deciding if they're going to do a governor's warrant. So, and what that means to me is it's going to take forever.
Basically what happens is we told him that, you know, statutorily, the demanding jurisdiction, if they waive, has 30 days to come get him. We, as Harris County, have so many people in custody that we try to really expedite things. So we, to be nice, so to speak, give 15 days to the demanding jurisdiction instead of the statutorily 30 or 14 days for them to come get him. And typically Harris County, if the demanding jurisdiction doesn't come within 14 days, they release the hold, they file a nollie, and we let the person out. Okay. Now, remember, it depends on the person, depends on what the charge is. Sometimes they will put their foot down. No, we want the 30 or whatnot, depending on what the person is.
Okay. So I guess just reset it.
No, not me. Well, let's wait. Since you're here, if you don't mind, give us 5-10 minutes, get Dave to come down. But understand when they waive or when they refuse, they have up to 90 days to get the governor's warrant, and he's refused. So essentially,
as of now, yeah,
it's just going to take
forever.
a little longer for him. I mean, he's delaying the inevitable, so to speak.
Let's wait till he gets here and then.
Can you call Dave to tell me?
If there's no bond, then I'm gonna suggest that he waive. So, thank you.
Yes.
I'm approaching you about police law. So I called Officer Cortina, in order to ask whether they had white CPS attendants, and they did, they took CPS, but they left the girl in custody of the grandfather. The grandfather resides in the same home. They gave me his number. I attempted to call him twice, left a voice message just to confirm whether or not CPS has since picked her up or whether or not she is still in the custody of the grandfather.
Why don't we wait a little bit too? Perhaps you left the number to call back, I'm assuming?
I left a voice message to call back, Judge, but there is a history of violence.
How do you know?
The offense report states and the officer ran the call logs. And CPS has been notified multiple times about incidents occurring at the house between this complainant and her mother.
Okay, right. I mean, I guess that's it for me. You know, if you have some kind of, if there are prior CPS calls, prior CPS intervention, then, you know, I'm going to appoint her someone now so that we have at least her talking to a lawyer and then we can powwow. But let's give it, I mean, we've got time. It's only 9:45, right? So let's give it time. Hopefully they call back and we can get a better idea of where that child is, because the only thing that matters is that child.
Yes.
Nothing else matters, right? And that's, looks like she got one. Great. Okay, there you go. So she can't go yet. We're trying to figure out where the child is. Okay. Of course, please do. That's what we want. We want you to meet with her, figure out what's going on, and then let us know. Yeah? Okay. Thanks, James. Braden Brock, come up. Oh.
How you doing, Your Honor?
Guys, do you mind helping me out, please? It's an open warrant. Mr. Brock, you were arrested and charged with tampering with a government record. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. Looks like you had court on
I missed because of school. I just forgot to
last Friday. Why did you miss court?
the school and it just slipped my mind.
How old are you, sir?
17.
Okay. How'd you get here?
I drove.
Okay. You're charged with tampering. You're facing up to a year. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers initiated a traffic stop, observing the defendant's vehicle run a stop sign in Harris County, Texas. The officer asked for the defendant's driver's license and the defendant provided it to the officer. When the officer went to verify the driver's license, the number came back to a Leslie Salazar. The defendant admitted to the officer that his driver's license was fake. The defendant then provided his legitimate driver's license to the officer.
Why? Don't say anything. Do you have any indication? I mean,
I'm not entirely sure, Judge. I don't know if it was like a mistake or to hand over the.
no, fake ID, I see. Did they take it? Do you know if they confiscated that license?
I believe they did. They have a photo of it. That the officers took.
Well, Mr. Brock, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
I'm assuming so, or in my mom's name.
Don't assume anything. Never assume anything in life, because if you get into a wreck and you kill a 5-year-old kid, they don't care whether you make assumptions or not. The only question is whether you do or not. And if you don't, then you're not allowed to drive. And I'm making that a condition of your bond.
Yes, it was taken.
Wonderful. I am making it a condition of your bond that you're not to have any fake IDs, fake licenses, or anything of this nature. And if I find that you're using that, or you're trying to get booze, you're trying to get illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any PR bonds. Do you understand?
Sir.
Life is really going to suck. At 17, you go into jail. Let me tell you what kind of field day the people in custody will have with you. You have any clue what they will do to you in custody? Take a guess. Imagine your worst nightmare. It's worse. Get my drift? If I drug test you today, what are you going to test positive for? And beware that you're going to get tested. Anything else? I'm sending you for a test. You're to go test and you're to come right back. If you fail to go test, if you fail to come back, I will put you in jail and I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? I will appoint you a lawyer today. We will talk about that when you get back, but I want to know what, if anything, is in your system and we'll go from there. What are you doing now with your life? Are you in high school?
Sir,
Okay. Senior, junior?
senior at Memorial,
Okay. What's going next? What's happening next?
college, UT or LSU.
You sure? Okay. Let's see. You got to understand, this is not a good start to your college career. This is, in fact, about one of the worst things that you can do, because all career services, all schools, they're going to look at this. And this can really impact you for the next 40 years of your life. So go take a test, come back, and then we'll talk further, okay? That way.
Reinstating, Your Honor?
Oh. Have you played Monopoly before?
Uh,
Okay. In Monopoly, you get a get out of jail free card. This is the only one that you're going to get from me. If you ever miss court again, if you ever fail to come when you're supposed to, I will issue a warrant and I will keep the warrant and I will lock you up.
Sir.
Do you understand? No more get out of jail free cards.
Fake IDs or licenses for competition.
Don't worry about it, because I'm gonna,
All right,
Yeah.
Judge, the next
oh,
arraignment-
what? Did you think that you were coming to the beach today in shorts?
yeah, I'm sorry. I completely wasn't using my head.
You know, when my kids tell me sorry,
It's my first time in court. I'm sorry.
it's a court. You know, in court, you're supposed to dress a certain way. This isn't the circus, man. You know, you continue to say sorry for things. At some point, your sorry will go in this ear and will go out that ear. Do you understand?
Sir.
Everything you're doing here, I'm going to mark it and we will know it. So that if you come in here and try to play this game again, I will put you on my knee like a little child and I'm going to spank you like a little child, but I will do it with a ton of jail time. Do you understand?
Sir.
Judge, are you ready for the arraignment?
Yeah,
Jackson, come on up. Page 11.
I'm sorry, I missed the page. What did you say? What is your last name, sir? Oh, of course, Mr. Jackson, right back with us. You're now charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On November 4th, 2024, officers conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it stopped in a moving lane of traffic at Hillcroft Avenue. Upon approaching, the officer observed the defendant exit from the driver's side door of the vehicle and walk to the front of the vehicle. The officer advised dispatch about the traffic hazard, and upon approaching the defendant, observed a small plastic baggie containing a green leafy substance that was in plain view on the driver's seat. The total amount of marijuana was weighed to be 5.9 grams.
So he gets pulled over for just stopping.
He was stopped in a moving lane of traffic.
Oh, he was just stopped.
He was stopped. Yes, Your Honor.
Got it. All right. Mr. Jackson, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
Can you run his license, please? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir. I got not, it's in the court name though. It's in both our names.
No.
It's in two people's names.
No. I want to know if you have insurance in your name.
I don't know if it's in my name.
Then you're not allowed to drive, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. Until you show me that you have car insurance in your name, you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand? I'm also ordering you not to use or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I will randomly test you. If I find that you're using illegal drugs, I will revoke your bond. I'll put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bond. Do you understand? You look amused. Mr. Jackson, you're now working on your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ninth case. Your second weed case within the last 2 months. What's amusing? What do you do with yourself these days? Do you work?
Yes, sir.
You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive, Mr. Jackson, number one. Number two, we are going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm going to bring you back in 40 days. I'm ordering you not to use any illegal drugs. That includes marijuana, and I'm going to test you again. If I find that you test positive for marijuana, I'm going to lock you up. Do you understand? Okay, come on. So Vic, set it 43 days to come back and we test him on when he comes back.
Judge, I think he's confused and when he's like
I said, you're not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance and you show it to us and we can see it that it has your name on it.
I know he said no smoking. I'm not on probation.
Okay.
I got the paperwork for my pre-release, but I posted not to. This is signing an affidavit for something else.
This is an affidavit for you not to drive.
And then you said not to smoke, and I'm not on.
I'm gonna have you sign paperwork with pretrial promising us that you're not going to use illegal drugs.
I'm not on probation with y'all.
You have an open case with us and I'm making it a condition of your bond. And if you do it, then I'm going to revoke your bond and I will put you in.
So like right
There
now,
are plenty of places in the United States that you can go to. California, go to Colorado, go to perhaps Arizona. Texas, it's illegal.
if I don't sign it right now, which I don't knock me up to.
Correct. I don't know. Hey, I'm asking you to follow the law. I'm not asking you to split the atom. Just follow the law. If you don't like it, there's other places you can go.
For how long though? That's what I'm asking.
Forever. You got to follow the law forever, man.
I'm talking about if I'm trying to see.
Go get insurance. Show me that it has your name on it and I'll let you drive. I just got to know that if you get into a car wreck, other people are protected. Because if you hit someone else's car and you create $10,000 worth of damage and you ain't got insurance, they're out $10,000. Insurance covers you for that fact to pay them.
That's not what I'm asking. This is what I'm asking. Like probation stuff.
You're not on, no, I'm making it a condition.
I already signed my conditions when I got out of jail to be pre-released already. So it's another condition.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Those were conditions that the magistrate gave you, if they gave you conditions. I am doing more because I care more. That's why. If you don't like it, don't get in trouble. It's easy money. Josh.
A question for you on Paige Brown.
Okay.
For her to show proof of enrollment.
Okay.
She's been in and out of the hospital, kind of on the last few months. She's had some overdoses and some mental health issues. So,
whoa, overdoses?
so she's going to be doing a walk through TRAS today. And to see what what her conditions are going to be. She's in a group home now and has a caseworker, so we're doing the TRAS to see what the conditions will be for deferred.
Come up, Miss Brown. Good morning, ma'am. What's going on?
Having a lot of mental health issues lately.
Why? Why are things so difficult? Guys, keep it down, please. Why are things? You have us. I'll talk to you, but you have one life. When you make a drastic move and you cut your life short, there's no redos. This isn't Target where If you do, if you buy something and you don't like it, you're going to return it. Life doesn't work like that. You've got one body, you've got one mind. And when you damage that beyond repair, that's it. But so she's been hospitalized?
She was released this past Friday.
What happened? How do we get it to stop?
Trying to stop.
I mean, how do you even have access to it?
The pills weren't locked up.
Hey, Miss Brown, we like you and we want to see you do well. We really do. You know, the idea is that you can become enough of a person that you never have to rely on anyone else, because at some point in life, people aren't going to know, people aren't going to be there for you. You have to make a life that you can rely on yourself. You can work, make money, live, and perhaps even meet someone and have a child, right? That's what life's about. It's, you know, going, buying nice things, taking nice vacations, going to an island where it's the water's crystal clear blue, coconuts, just, you know, that's what life is about. And if you work hard and you make a lot of money, right? And you put your heart into things, God, you can achieve anything. But repeatedly getting hospitalized, you're going nowhere fast. How old are you now? 19, 20? Yeah. Do you have any job right now? That's what we need. You've got way too much time on your hands. You're becoming self-destructive because you have too much time. The best thing for you now is, I think, that you need a job. You need something to occupy your time in your mind, because you have too much time to think. Your body is like that rat in a cage that's constantly going. It needs something to do. It craves activity. It craves challenge. That's what we need to do. Where do we go from here? What do you want to do, Josh?
So we're going to do the walk through TRAS today.
Okay.
So we can do the deferred plea. So I don't know as far as the timing. But
how can we help her get a job?
I can give her resources for jobs and for community and all that stuff.
If I give you paperwork to try to help you find a job, will you do it? Really? I'm telling you, the best thing that you could possibly do now is get a job, because it will take your mind off of things, get you away. And then the great thing about it is you get money too. And then you can buy things. That's what's really cool. It's like being able to buy your own things and not having people give you money for this and that. It's when you buy when you buy a car, when you buy something of value that you want, it's so great because you've earned it. It's yours and no one can take it away. Let's do that. Can we do that? So I need you to waive the fee for the TRAS. Huh? And then can we get a resource for a job? Josh, I want to, I'm not, no more long resets. We're not doing that anymore. We're doing short resets because I want to make sure that you get a job. Okay. It's really the best thing for you now that you're occupied. So let's set it off a week. She doesn't have a resume or anything like that. Do you think that we'll still be able to, these places will? I don't know. Do they? For what? I mean, there's some jobs you don't need a resume, right? Like, is it perhaps fast food or something like that? I mean, we're not talking like nuclear scientists here, right? But
More just applications, right?
right, we're more so you just do applications and it's just, menial jobs here and there. It starts like low and just a couple hours. We're going to give you paperwork, but you're going to have to also put work into it. You're going to have to make phone calls. You're going to have to fill out applications. So no one is just going to give you things. You have to also work for it. You know that, right, Ms. Brown? So understand that you're going to have to put in phone calls, and it may be that you have to call 10 people. You may have to call 15 people. If you don't stop at one, or if you don't get the first job, if you don't get the second job, if you don't get the third job, it's okay. Keep going. At some point, if you continue to knock on doors, one is going to open, but don't give up at the first one or two or three that just close it in your face. You understand? It happens to all of us. It takes all of us a long time to get a job sometimes. It's not easy. Okay. All right. So we're going to send you for a TRAS now. I want you to come back so we can figure out who you're going to start calling around. Okay. All right, Ms. Brown.
You wanted to come back today, Judge? Okay.
Yeah, because I want to get the paperwork and I want to nail down who we're going to start calling and stuff.
Do you need me to stay also for?
Do you have anywhere elsewhere to go?
I just had one other court, but I can stay if you need me to.
Well, how long will the TRAS take? No, I guess don't. We'll set it for later this week then, because I really want to get on top of getting our job.
Right.
Yeah?
Do you want to do later this week, or I guess 1 week, so that the TRAS report comes back, or?
No, this week, because I want to start getting the job. I want to work on getting the job about how she's going to call, who she's going to call, how many times and stuff like that. Okay. It's just, I don't want you to have to sit here and wait for that all night. Yeah. Okay. All right, Mr. Brown. Good luck, man. Hunter.
Mr. McCall.
Come on, Mr. McCollum. I'm not happy with you. You have a monitor on your ankle. It's been dead. Is it still dead now?
I keep my charger with me. I keep it with me wherever I go. But my ankle monitor is messed up. They said it's not functioning. So sometimes.
Felicia, tell me what's going on with Mr. McCollum now.
So, I believe on the 2nd, we lost service until the 5th. And then it came back on, and then on the 8th, his last court date, it went off again for about 6 hours. I reached out to get the specific times, but I haven't heard back yet on that. But it was off for a confirmed 6 hours, and we have received signals since then back.
Yeah.
And we send messages out to tell them to report 49 to have the device inspected as well. And if they have any issues with that, they're instructed very thoroughly to let us know.
Yeah, I keep my charger with me, but I think it's something wrong with my thing because the thing got off and it gets wet when I get in the shower.
You keep your charger on you, but you don't use the charger because it has gone dead over and over. And I don't care if you come here with a baby to try to save your ass from going into custody.
I'm not trying to save him. I'm the only one that could have watched him right now.
What's going to happen if you go to jail? These are things that you think about when you're in the free world and when you have bond conditions. Because when you break the bond conditions, what happens to you?
I did call them and tell them that I think it's a malfunction with my team. They said they could see my signal and they give me.
You repeatedly have the device that goes out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to call this people. But you are, though. The device has gone dead. 3 days over there. Now 6 hours over here. What am I supposed to do?
I was unaware of it being dead. I put it on the
She's
charger.
telling me they reached out to you.
Oh, they do. Every time they call me, I put it on the charger. They call me. They do call me and I put it on the charger.
Why do they have to call you to even tell you to put it on the charger, Mr. McCollum?
Sometimes I'm at school. A lot of times a day I can't charge it at school. My charger is not close to my barber station. So
why can't you charge it at night when you're at home with the baby?
I do. Sometimes it acts as if it's charging, but it's not charging. So it's not that I'm not trying not to charge. I do try to charge it every day.
Judge, I would ask if the court would instruct him to go by 49 Sanderson today, just for them to check the device, and if there is something wrong, for them to put it in.
I'm putting him in jail. I don't know what you're gonna do with this kid, man.
I haven't done anything wrong, sir. I promise. I go to
But you have done something wrong. You've repeatedly done something wrong.
But my ankle monitor, like, I didn't know it was dead. I promise you, I go to school every day. This is what I do. Like, I go to school.
How does
every
the
day.
monitor let him know that it's dead?
So, we send messages, and then I also see, a few
They-
times
they
we
do
send
send-
siren alerts to the device as well.
Yeah,
And
and
then
I
I have
charge it.
multiple dates of text messages informing the client to charge the battery as
And they
well.
call me and I answer the phone and I charge it. I charge it every time they call me. I'm not making no excuse. This is what I do. I go to school every day. And
The reality is, you tell me something, but the machine tells me something different, Mr. McCollum. That's the reality.
ask if we could get, like, can we get it inspected or get it checked out, please? Because I know it's not.
That is what you're supposed to do at the first instance that there is a problem.
I did call them and it's on record. I did
You
call them.
calling has nothing. It doesn't do anything. You have to actually go down to the place and have it serviced if it's malfunctioning.
They told
But
me
you don't.
no malfunctions with it, sir. I promise. I called them. They told me there was no malfunctions because it was going off at first when I was at school one time. I said, "What's wrong with it?" I've never been on ankle monitor before, so I said, "What's wrong with it?" I called them. They said, "Do you have service to outlet?" I said, "No, but I can get." I went to a place next door to my school and I tried to charge, and they said they still not getting signal from me. They still weren't getting signal. So if we can get it changed or get it looked at least,
Judge, I would ask if he could get a new device, if we could reset this a week, and if
Here's
there's.
what we're going to do. I'm now sending you for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system.
Sir.
Do you understand?
Sir.
You were to come back tomorrow. Don't come with a baby. Do you understand me?
Sir.
Don't come back here with the baby.
Sir.
Because if you're here and I put you in custody for one reason or the other, I will call CPS. Do you understand?
Sir.
But here, whoever you are, I don't care who you are, we will hold you accountable. And if you continue to piss on my leg and tell me it's raining, there will be issues. Do you understand? I will not entertain you telling me I got to do this, I got to do that, my malfunction, this. They reach out to you ad nauseum to tell you that there are issues, and you coming here and telling me, well, I don't know about this, I don't know, it's disingenuous.
Nice, we get it. Ankle monitor looked at.
Just go to 49
Where is that?
49 Sanderson.
First thing is first, I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test. And then I will give you the benefit of the doubt right after. I'll have you go to this place to see if there actually is something wrong. You will be back here tomorrow. Understand? Okay, Hunter.
Judge, they will, do you have someone else to watch the baby because they won't allow the child?
I'm gonna take a drug test today.
Yeah, I can
Tell
set
you,
the
man.
appointment, but they won't allow him to with the child.
I could wait outside until somebody come.
Do you have someone here with you today?
No, sir, but I'll just wait outside, the address
So-
until I can get somebody to come.
Do that.
Yes, Judge.
All right. All right, Judge. See you, Mr. McCollum. We'll see you tomorrow. The baby will not save you. Tell me.
Your Honor, I'm here on Leo. Leo's the last name, Leo Terrence. And he's here today, Your Honor. This was rolled over from yesterday. And, we have an issue on the PTI. We need to bring to the attention of the court. There were
Mr.
some
Leo.
violations. Yes, sir, he is here.
Come up, Mr. Leo.
There are some issues, violations. Mr. Nathan is PTI chief is willing to agree to extension of the PTI. He had just almost about to finish it when the violation occurred. but they're willing to agree to a 6-month extension. We're before the court today to request to see if the judge will agree and approve that 6-month extension on this PTI. I'll let your staff here advise you of those violations.
A lot of it depends on how he was doing. Has he done anything? Has he done most of it? What are the hiccups? Is he continuing to use?
Yes, sir. In that regard, he is scheduled for 2 classes. One is being November 13th, what are the 2 dates?
November 13th, 15th, 6 p.m. to 9, and second class is on December 2nd, from 6 to 9. That's virtual.
So those are the 2 classes they had set him up for, but
what has he done?
He has to complete the DWI education course and the effective decision making. Those are the classes he's registered for.
Wow, he hadn't even done that, and it's.
So he's claiming financial hardship, so they're doing all of the programs in-house. His device has been in lockout since July. They've been drug testing him more frequently because of that. His last 5 drug tests are positive for marijuana.
You don't say. If I test you now, what are you gonna test positive for? Really? Really? I'll just send you right now. We'll see.
His last drug test was October 16th, and he was positive for marijuana. So they want to extend him for 6 months to allow him to complete the 2 classes in Iowa.
Joe, he hasn't done anything. All he's done is continue to smoke weed the whole time.
Your Honor, I did sit down before we approached, and he assured me that he had stopped. I told him he would be talking to you and that you would test him, and I gave him the option because I was willing to speak with the DA too to see where they wanted to go with this and talk with the client as well about that. One of the things about the machine, he says, as you said, he's been out of a job, and the probation officer's working on him knows that, and that's why he hadn't been able to pay for the installation of the machine, which is no excuse.
But he has enough money to smoke weed. People spend money where they want to spend money, right? If you truly want to do something, there's always a way. So when someone is not working, it's because they choose not to work, not because they can't work. If you really wanted to work, you could. It's a matter of you just don't want to. And I get it. But don't come here asking for us to be lenient when you don't do anything. You've been in lockout since last July? You've been in lockout for an entire year. And Joe, if I send you for a test right now, what are you going to test positive for? Man.
I ain't been smoking at all October.
Look,
I just have no marijuana and nothing. I don't do no other drugs.
No, you're in a diversion program where the idea is you're supposed to stay clean. And when you do, the reward is that they dismiss your case. And if you do, you don't even have to do that much. All you got to do is 2 classes, right? And just stay out of trouble. And they dismiss the case. Joe.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, one of the opportunity that if
he's been in lockout for an entire year.
I was going to talk with the DA and see if there's another resolution of the situation and see what options he wanted me to check on that. If the court was not in, I explained to him 6 more months means he needs to be in compliance 6 months.
Yeah, I'm not, and he's not been in compliance at all for anything. I'm not inclined to do another 6-month reset for him to just do nothing for another 6 months. I mean, we're delaying the inevitable. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I understand.
So you might as just.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, we'll talk to him right now, and thank you for the opportunity to come forward.
Sure, Joe. I love you, man, and I'd say that of all the people that come here with violations, 99% we do. But you got to show that you want it, that you really have a willingness to do it.
Yes, sir.
And when you don't, really, I mean, the program is designed to reward people who faithfully work for it. And I get that there are hiccups in life, but when you do nothing, you've been in lockout for an entire year, you literally have done nothing for an entire year, and all you've done is continue to smoke weed the whole time. That shows us you don't care. So why would we care? You know? All right, you guys talk. Let me know what you want to do. You must either accept or we're going to set your case for trial today. Okay? All right, please.
You want to have one other one, Brenda Reese?
Sure.
The court had asked me to approach on this one. This is a client who's also working toward dismissal. He just needs one more reset in order to get the funds to pay for their driver's license. Which is the last
I mean,
part.
it's 140 days. If you need more time, of
Thank you,
course.
Your Honor.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever you need,
Thank you very much.
of course. Mr. Elick,
Your Honor,
Hey.
I'm Samantha Walker, and
you guys ever get a call back?
no, Judge, we did.
So, Judge, I met with the defendant with the defense in the room.
Oh, okay.
I'll let defense.
Your Honor, I showed him some video of the alleged assault, I believe. Of course, I haven't gone through the state's discovery, but this, in my opinion, is a child out of control. She's on juvenile probation in Tarrant County, according to her mother. The complaint says that she caused bodily injury by grabbing her. I mean, the complaining witness has a statue. She's threatening to get a knife. She's bigger and stronger than my client. My client's called the police numerous times.
This is why we appoint.
And
that
so
there's
I
always
think-
two sides, right?
I think
Always
this
two sides.
is almost enabling the child when the police come. The police saw all this, but they're so sick of going out there. They're like, we're somebody's.
But I don't understand why they wouldn't, if you see this, Michael, did you see it?
I saw the video, Judge.
Thanks.
Based off of what I saw and what defense told me, I'm unopposed to removing the residency restriction, to not granting a MOAP at all. And to just.
No more.
I wouldn't.
Okay, I mean, if that's what you think, I'll go with what you think. I
Based off what
think,
they're telling me, Judge, and I did corroborate them, some of the information as well. We're just gonna subpoena the CPS records to take a look.
come up, Ms. Walker, come up. So I guess, the $25 million question is, how do you wrangle in a child who's out of control?
I've been doing everything in my power to love her, do everything to help her get some type of mental help. I've had her admitted to several programs. I've even contacted CPS myself personally, had them come out to the house. She got up and walked out on us. I've tried therapy, I've tried medication.
Hell hath no fury as a scorned 15-year-old. I tell you
None.
what, I mean, I
None.
remember I was 15. Oh, God. And I hope it doesn't, I mean, I know it's gonna happen to me, but what's she on probation for?
Trying to stab her older sister, my other daughter,
And that's in Tarrant County
in Tarrant County.
and a juvenile case.
As a felony.
Okay, so I'm at your disposal, I guess, whatever you want, ma'am. I'll take off I won't do the order for protection. Just be careful, I won't put Michael, I'm not gonna put any conditions either, I guess,
I would just say no threatening or harassing, Judge, if the court's inclined to do that. This is some sort of.
I mean, how do you handle a 15-year-old?
Parents, how can you be a parent if, it's almost like you're disarmed and the child can do whatever she wants. And if you touch me, well, then you're going to jail, mom.
Correct.
F you.
No, I mean, imagine that, the child will have unfettered access to.
And the
Just
arresting
wreak
officer
havoc.
told her, if you feel triggered, you can leave and take a walk. Well, that walk turned into her being gone for 7 days.
My Lord. You can bring her here?
Huh?
She'll come here. I can try to talk to her,
Yeah,
show her the jail. I don't
she's
know.
been to jail in Tarrant County already because she continues to violate.
Well, that's the juvenile detention, it's not the same thing.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how worse juvenile detention is versus regular.
And she had an ankle monitor, but
I'd
it was
imagine.
cut off.
It's not like the jail.
Really?
Yeah, they're in plain clothes, they're not in handcuffs, they have plenty of hours.
Really?
It's completely different.
It might as well be a playground.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not like Dr. Phil where he sends
No.
them to the.
No.
Okay.
It's a playground.
No.
I'm not going to put any, just be careful. It's evident she's bringing you down too. And I'm so sorry for it. You're welcome to come bring her here. We'll try to help you out.
Yes.
If she'll listen to me, I'll try to talk to her or whatever you need. We're at your disposal,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You ever need funds for anything, just let me know.
Okay.
That's why, I wanted to appoint you someone because there's always two sides, right? We get one side here, but a lot of times you don't get the other side. And a lot of times we take that for granted, and it's good to have another ear in, just so that we always know, we get a complete picture, and it's just so important. So I'm sorry you're going through that, and I hope it gets better. You know, if you keep loving, I gotta imagine she's gonna get better, really. Because I tell you, I was the same way. Hell on wheels, you know, and if it weren't for my folks, holy moly, I don't know where I would be, you know, really. So, okay, man, thanks. So we've given you a lawyer. Just stay in touch with James. He'll tell you when to come back, what you need to do. I'll waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time to come into court. Just stay in touch, and then you guys work it out,
Yes,
okay?
sir.
Okay.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck to you.
Those, the protective order and the.
No conditions,
and
no.
No conditions, okay.
Just,
Well, just hold on to it, but.
yeah, we'll shred it. Just shred it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Sure.
Just collapse.
Joe. Hey.
Your Honor, back here with the chief on Mr. Leo's case. We discussed this and the chief wanted to approach you on this. case.
So Judge, this is a failed PTI, obviously. Would you take a time served?
Yes, sure, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I get it.
Thank you, Ron.
Just, you made the wrong decision initially. I'm not gonna hold you to it, but from now on, though, it's 30 days, right? So therein lies the rub. Yeah, absolutely, of course. Hi, Joe. You ready?
We're ready to do that plea on Leo.
Okay, of course.
Mr. Leo?
Yeah, Mike did.
Mr. Michael, what was his last name again?
Leo was the last.
That's right.
Terrence Leo.
You know, Mr. Leo, you got into this program and may not be today, may not be tomorrow, may not be in a year, but one day you're going to kick yourself for not making this work, because now this DWI will go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. And this is important because if you ever get pulled over in a car, first thing an officer does is they look at your record. If they see that you have a prior DWI and they come up and they smell weed on your car, they smell alcohol, what do you think they're going to do to you? Right. What we're doing today, from now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. No more catch and release. Do you understand? So if you want to get lit, you want to have 52 beers, 32 joints, don't get into a car, because you do, there's going to be a lot to pay. Not only that, but there is a surcharge of around $3,000 in this case that you'll be responsible for. Not to mention the court cost, which is another 500 something dollars. Yeah, when you get a DWI, it's really expensive. You get a second DWI, it's around $7,000 in fines and fees and surcharges. And if you don't pay it, you don't get a license. And you don't get a license until you pay it. So it will be in an indefinite suspension. Do you understand? DWI in Harris County, it's big business. Not only that, it's so dangerous, it's ridiculous. So how do they get you to recognize that? By hitting you where it hurts, in the pocketbook. You give up a lot of rights by entering this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you are not a citizen or possible immigration consequence, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, it will go on your record. Like I said, it'll be there forever. You can never come back and complain about this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty and I will send you to 3 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 4 that you've done. I'm going to suspend your license for 180 days. Do not drive until you get a license. So what are you doing with yourself these days?
Looking for a job.
When was the last time you even had a full-time job?
Last time it's been like 4 months since I couldn't get Ubers back and forth because it was like 40 minutes away, so I couldn't afford the Uber. So they basically let me off because I couldn't show up. So I've been done 11 interviews. I've done a lot of applications as well. I've been just trying to find me a job.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes.
Okay. You know, the idea in life is that you were young and you bust your ass when you're young, so you don't end up 70 years old without a pot to piss in. Because I'm going to tell you, the older you get, the more difficult life gets. And if you don't have a pot to piss in when you're older, life will be all the more difficult. You Work hard, and set yourself up now so that you have a future and that you have a nest egg when you're old, because you're not going to be young and vibrant forever. At some point, your knees start hurting, your back gives out, you get bald, you get fat, you get ugly, you smell bad, you get hair where you never know it even exists and start coming out. It doesn't get easier. And if you don't have money, this life will really suck for you. So you work hard now so that you have money in the future and take vacations. You buy nice cars. People divorce now because all they do is they fight, and they fight about money. That's why half of this population is divorced, because they ain't got no money. Do something with yourself, Mr. Leo. I will give you this now. I will roll your court costs, and I will quash your otherwise $3,000 surcharge. But if you come back, look forward to HE double hockey sticks, if you catch my drift. If you understand, next time it's going to cost you big. Do something with your life. Don't be a wasteoid like. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Joe. Well, you know, Leo, Mr. Leo, we want what's best for you. What you're doing now is you're doing nothing, and you will end up as a nothing, just smoking weed all day. You got to stop. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Jillian, I need to talk to your boy here. Did you get the results back?
Oh, no. For
Brock,
Brock, I have a presumptive positive for THC.
come up, Mr. Brock. I'm making your bond conditions severe. I want you to understand, no more fake IDs, no alcohol,
Situation again, promise.
no illegal drugs, and I'm going to test you. I will test you 40 to 45 days from today. If you test positive for marijuana again, that tells me that you've continued to smoke. I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds, and I don't care if you're kicking and screaming and praying to Allah that it wasn't this. I don't care. You will go into custody. You are on notice now. Forewarned is fair warned. Do you understand?
Sir.
All you have to do is stay in school, graduate, don't use.
I know.
Do you understand?
Sir.
Okay, we've given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Jillian, and she will tell you when you have to come back to court. If you test positive, or I'm sorry, negative, at that point, we'll just give you a normal reset, but you are still under bond conditions not to use.
Sir.
Because they can call you in at any time to come test.
Sir.
Understand?
Sir.
Okay, all right, Jillian, thanks. That's it. Amy,
Yes, just a question.
hey,
We were just approaching on waivers for life.
okay.
I talked to his attorney up in Wisconsin, and he said that he had initially reached out to him 4 years ago. And then he fell off the face of the earth for a period of time. So it wasn't as if he forgot it completely, but his attorney's advice up there was go ahead and, hit the waiver, reschedule the case. If they come to get him, we'll deal with it up here. If not, that's how that is.
They've indicated that they want him.
Yeah, but he knows the folks in Dane County, the county that's in. And so he said he would
Meaning
be,
he knows the officers there?
yeah, I mean, he practices law there. It's a small county.
Oh, no, no, okay. I thought you were talking about the lawyer says he knows people. I thought you meant Mr.
No.
White.
What he's
Okay.
saying is that
He doesn't think they'll come?
he said they won't come to Illinois.
Well, if they don't come, then it gets released, but
Exactly.
bring out Mr. White, please.
Yes, Your Honor. But if that's the case, he still needs to take care of this.
And that's what I want him, I'm gonna impart to him now that no matter, even if you get released,
And do you automatically reset this case for 15 days or how does it?
Yes.
Okay. So Ms. Tang, you'll take care of that?
then in the interim, if we figure out something new,
Mhm.
we'll let you guys know so that you guys are in the know of everything that happens.
Absolutely. All right, let's
Mr. White, I want you to understand a couple things. Your lawyer has been tenacious in trying to get you a bond, as is your family.
Love Mike, he's a good guy.
But it has nothing to do with them. It has to do with me, And more importantly, it has to do with you. And you have to understand that you can't continue the way things are going for 24 years and expect a good result.
You're right.
So understand that that's just now, I don't know if Wisconsin is going to come get you or not. You have to understand that this warrant, even if they don't come get you and we end up releasing you, that warrant is still active and that warrant will always remain active until you go back and take care of it. So let's play devil's advocate that they don't come get you. We release you in 2 weeks. If I were you, I would immediately go up to Wisconsin and don't just call your lawyer. Okay, can you take care of this for me? No, you have to actually physically go there.
I wanted to go there. I was actually hoping, give me 1 second, please. Don't get mad at me. Please let me say something.
No one's mad at you.
No, just let me say, something, please.
Sure.
It's been very devastating for me. But my plan was to go up there. I'm not crying for myself, I'm crying for my kids. I don't care about me. I don't care if you put me in jail for the rest of my life. Don't bother me. I don't care about myself. I care for my kids. I never did anything in 24 years. Never robbed nobody. I never stole anybody. I was buying and selling diesel truck parts. I was the only one in my family that went legitimate, sir. The only one that went legitimate. The only one that didn't commit crimes in 24 years. I was the only one, and you could verify this. And now I care for my son, both of them, and one is sick. And that's what I'm devastated about. So they want to fry me and let them eat me, whatever. They got me now.
You shouldn't have that kind of mindset. The mindset that you should have is that, look, I'm a father now. My main, when you're single, you have no response. You can do whatever you want.
I know.
When you get married, your life is about your wife.
Like,
when you have kids, your life's not yours.
can I tell you something else? I want you to know. I want you to know the truth. I want you to know the truth.
Sure.
My brother did all this. And my brother, Tom, who I informed to the authorities in Wisconsin where he was. I spoke to Chris Freeman, the district attorney, that I did all this.
You got to understand, we live stream, so I wouldn't talk about the case. Don't.
No, I'm sorry. No,
just don't.
No, I want to tell
He
you.
hurt himself, man. Don't.
Oh, well, my brother, and it's not had to do with the case. It's not to do with the case. My brother had an affair with my wife. I got married, has a baby. I was 16 years old. Okay, because of this, sir. This is why this happened. All these issues. I want you to know that.
And cut ties.
I did.
You have someone like that, you cut ties. But the only thing I'm trying to impart to you is that this warrant will always remain active until
I want
you
to
go.
fix it.
So if they end up letting you out, I would immediately, and look, Mr. White, don't get on a plane. If you try to get on an airplane, they're going to arrest you. You got to find an alternate means of getting down there. All you have to do is post bond, and then that lifts that warrant. That's all you got to do.
They'll put a big bond on me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is there a bond set over there? Do you guys know?
Paid $102,000 cash bond.
I don't see a bond at this moment, Judge.
There's no bond that's set. When you go down there, you can ask them for a bond, and then that's how it works. But
I'm not the person that this charge made me to be. That I promise you.
Just
not.
get out of here. Make us proud. That's all we're asking.
May it please the court, on the 27th is the day he's supposed to come back. I don't want to delay his time anymore because I will be out of town. I don't think he would have a problem. We could have someone here if we needed to, but.
No, we don't know. We don't need someone here for the end. You do want to waive extradition, right, though, Mr. White?
I signed a paper, yes.
Okay. All right, guys. We wish you the best of luck. If they take you, great. If not, go up there, okay?
Yeah, I definitely. I was gonna do it anyway. I was trying. I tried before, but now we're going to do it now.
All right, Mr. White, come on.
Thank you.
Your Honor,
Thank you,
it's
Mr.
always a pleasure. Ms. Tang?
You too.
Take care.
Thank you, Judge Fleischer.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Good morning.
How are you, sir?
What's up?
Estrella Barros is my client. She's in the court today, and we're needing to approach on bond conditions.
It's under Estrella?
Yes, Barros.
Oh, yeah, Barrios. It looks like. Yeah, okay.
She just needs conditions.
Do you mind bringing her up?
I don't.
Did she just get out of jail?
Friday, yes, sir.
Did she have an ice hold or something? Is that, and it was,
No, sir.
or what
She had a
happened?
felony case that was dismissed.
I see, okay. Good morning, ma'am. Ma'am, you're charged with, please spit the gum out. Do you have a trash that she can spit, so you're not smacking like? Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Officers observed the defendant driving a family place without lights on at night. Officers used the intercom to tell the defendant to turn her lights on. The defendant pulled over into a parking lot. Officer approached the defendant to ask why she did not have her lights on and observed strong odor of alcoholic beverage. Officer detained the defendant and placed her in the back of the patrol vehicle to wait for a secondary unit to assist. When officers returned to the patrol vehicle with backup, defendant had slipped out of one handcuff, and while officer attempted to place her back into handcuffs, defendant bit one officer and kicked the other. Defendant was taken to JPC and a blood warrant was signed and executed.
They didn't, I guess because of that, they didn't do any field sobriety tests on the scene. They didn't do any at the station, I guess, either.
Right, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Barrows, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I will randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am?
No, sir.
Then you're not allowed to drive. I'm making that a condition of your bond as well, and you're going to sign with me today a promise. This is an affidavit that you're going to sign that you're not to drive any vehicle whatsoever for any reason, and I don't care what your excuse is. If you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, show us that you have this, and then I'll happily take this restriction off. But until that point, if I find that you drive, I'm going to go nuts on the bond. Do you understand? Okay. So you have a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stand to us, Mr. Brooker, and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging phone calls or text messages, likewise, I'll issue a warrant. No more PR bonds.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not to drive. We'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. You'll meet with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you guys are free to go.
Thank
All
you,
right?
Judge. Step over here. Thank you, State.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Good morning.
To Mr. John Melendez, Judge. He is here. I understand that last week. On that.
Is he here?
Yes, he is here. Yes, of course. John, come on up. He did re-enroll in school, Judge, as instructed.
So are you appointed or you retained in this case? Is mom here as well?
Yes, yes, she is.
Come up, mom. You can come up.
Judge, for Barrows, did we have any special bond conditions for his child?
Same as normal with the DWI. And then she's here in shorts, man. I'm gonna talk to her here in a second.
I'll speak with the judge.
No more marijuana. Do you understand? I will test you 40 to 45 days from today. If you test positive again, that tells me that you've continued to smoke. I'm going to put you in jail and I'm going to make your bond high. You got to understand, your mom probably doesn't have a lot of money as it is. Every time you go to jail, it's going to cost her money to get you out when she could be feeding and using that for rent. Do you understand? You are also to stay in school, not hang out with the people that you were in this car. No associating with the co-defendants in this case. No weapons. Stay in school. Do you understand? We've now given you a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with counsel, and he will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm not going to give you any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything that you'd like to add? Do you need anything? Because I don't know how he is when he's at home with you. Does he act up? Does he help you out?
Yes, he helps me out, does side jobs at home. Recently, I was able to get him enrolled back into his homeschooling program, so he's actively working on it.
Okay, I'm gonna want proof that he's actually enrolled in school and actually doing well.
You can
And
provide it, it's online.
great, and I'm also giving him a curfew because I don't want you out in the middle of the night. You're getting a curfew at 10 p.m. and I'm putting a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not out. Do you understand?
Sir.
Don't act a fool. You start being a danger in the free world, I will take the free world away from you in a second. My only concern is public safety. And when you're in a stolen car with a bunch of other people with stolen guns and everything, that's not a good look. All you're going to do is end up with a number on your back, perpetually in and out of jail, never amounting to anything. That's not a good way to go through life. Life is a journey. It can be a great journey where it's filled with love, fun, vacations, nice cars, or it can be a miserable, rotten toilet of an existence where you never have any money. You argue with everyone about everything because you ain't got no money, got no education to be able to support yourself. That's not a good way. That you don't go through life like that. And it starts now at 17. You understand, Mr. Melendez? You won't get any more warnings from me. Straighten up and fly right. You stay with me. Okay, guys, thanks. We will pay for everything for you, so it shouldn't be a dime out of your pocket, okay? All right, Mom, thanks. Julio Antonio Herrera, come up. What time did you get here?
I got here like around 11:20 maybe. I really don't know.
What time does court start?
It was 8:30.
Why did you get here so late?
I couldn't make it here on time.
Why?
I overslept. I ain't gonna lie.
The next time you do that, it's very possible that I could just put you in jail. Do you understand?
Sir?
This is not a game. This is not, you're going to your grandmother's house and you go to your grandmother's house late. This is a court and we expect you to act accordingly. And when you don't, there are very serious consequences. Do you understand?
Sir.
You stand charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On November 5th, 2024, a traffic stop was conducted on the defendant's motor vehicle after the officer observed it displaying an expired registration as of June 2021. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed watery bloodshot eyes and an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted to drinking, and an empty can of Budweiser was found on the passenger floorboard. A standard field sobriety test was administered. HGN 2 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. The DIC was red and the defendant consented to breath, but the defendant provided unacceptable samples. The defendant then consented to blood and a blood draw was conducted.
I missed this. What was the stop for?
The stop was for an expired registration.
Mr. Herrera, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, sir?
18.
No more alcohol. Do you understand?
Sir?
I'm now sending you for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. You're to test and then you're to come right back. Do you understand?
Sir?
If you fail to come back, if you fail to take the test, things will not go well and I'm going to put you in jail. Do you have a Texas driver license?
I don't.
Then you're not allowed to drive. And you will also be signing an affidavit with me today, promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care what you need to do, where you got to go. If you don't have a license and liability insurance, then you're not allowed to drive. If you drove here today, you may not drive home. Do you understand?
Sir.
Can you look to see if he has any prior DWIs, please?
Yes, no prior, Your Honor.
You ran an NCIC check on him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm gonna have you come up here, swear test you're not gonna drive. I'm gonna have you sign a reset. I will have you meet with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and then we'll have you test and then come right back. All right, come on. Chub change. Hey, ready?
Hey, Judge.
Come up, ma'am.
Judge, I've already explained to Rubio, obviously the consequences of her actions. One, in terms of her bond conditions, and two, that there's a supervision order for DWI PTI sitting in front of you. Miss.
I'm seriously at a loss. I mean, I will tell you that for me here, we have a lot of people that come back because of issues that they've had with this program. The number one that probably 90% of the people that come back are the people that have problems while they're on bond, or it takes them forever to get into the program. 90% of those people come back. And here you are. If you think that the way that you've acted on bond is the way that you're going to act in this program, it's not going to happen. Did she test positive?
Yes, for alcohol.
Sorry, I did have a glass of wine.
And Judge, she's not making any excuses for her behavior. She told me it was a moment of weakness, Judge, and
how many times has she's failed to submit, no show, and now you're testing positive. And you want me to let you into this program? I don't think so. I don't know what to tell you, but it's unacceptable.
you're completely right, Judge. It is. She's 24 years old. She has the rest of her life in front of her, Judge. She recently went further than she ever had in school. She got a certificate. She's starting a new job. She has so many things ahead of her in her life that could be impacted by a DWI conviction.
And that matters why?
And Judge, you know, the reflection that she's made in the mitigation packet that we've provided to the DA's office to even get her this opportunity, she has reflected on the behaviors that got her into the situation in the first place. And as it relates to the program itself, there are safeguards in place that address this type of issue, that if she did have any issues with drugs or alcohol, she is required to attend supportive outpatient treatment. I don't think this is a situation, Judge, that she's ever going to place herself in again.
I don't believe that for a second. If you try to sell me that, you're trying to tell me that I have a full head of hair. We cannot even get through on bond without violation after violation after violation. And now the day of court, she's testing positive for alcohol. For her to test positive for alcohol tells me that she must have consumed quite a bit last night. Because there's no other way someone at noon is going to test positive for alcohol, because alcohol dissipates from your system at a rapid pace. So for you to tell me it's a lie and it's disingenuous. I
believe the test that she took was a urine test, which does show a little bit further out rather than simply a day before. And I don't know if it was a positive or negative situation or a quantification of it, so.
Why are we just getting this now? Why are we, how is it that she's had a violation since October and we're just now getting this now?
I'm not sure, Judge. I have the fail to submit on 10/17, so you're referring to?
There has to be some kind of consequence. There has to be. Otherwise, I'm not putting my name on a year-long reset for her to do this. There has to be a consequence. I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do, McKinney, because I don't know. There has to be a consequence. I'm not gonna just acquiesce and let her go without there being some serious, there's gotta be something. I don't know. Take a seat for me, man. We gotta figure this out, but I don't know how we're gonna go forward. Just, well, tell me what you got.
We'll circle back, Judge.
Yeah. Did you tell Doug?
Right now, range, Judge.
I was thinking at least maybe 2 days as a condition, I know that you're not gonna like it, but I mean, there's gotta be some kind of consequence, Set it. You're not gonna hurt my feelings, but the problem is that if we don't, we're enabling her. And I'm telling you, it's okay to do what you want to do. And it's okay to just miss tests. It's okay to, continue to drink alcohol, because what we're doing, if I let her go now, we will be back here in 6 months with a bunch of violations. And I'm telling you that because I see it here every single day, The one person we've had in this exact situation, we put in jail for 3 days. She's on still in compliance. So what I'm telling you is I think that when you have that kind of sanction, it wakes them up. I'm not saying for long, but at least 2, so you get the drift. So you get,
What about that hammer hanging over her head?
It's already hanging over her head. Oh.
Immediate educational something.
That's all stuff she has to do anyways. Hey, Michael. Sorry. I know that you're battling for your client. I get it. I understand. Right. She tested positive for alcohol.
This is the first.
It's not, no, it's violation after violation. Today, we were supposed to sign the supervision order. And we've got a BVR here with like 3 different violations. Now she's testing positive.
It's just so weird how they just step up.
It's not supposed to be like that. Someone dropped the ball over there, and I've been on them over and over, and I tell them, how the hell am I supposed to work when you're, we should have been notified this the first time, on the 18th of October, that way we can take the necessary steps at that time. As soon as you guys leave here, I'm going to start sending an email to whoever's supervising to say, who the hell do you have working? Mickey Mouse? It's not fair. And so I want a sanction, like 2 days as a sanction.
2 days.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else would be appropriate, because all the things that would otherwise be suggested are things that she has to do anyways. Because I'm telling you, I'm not, because I'm the one that signs off on a year reset. I'm not gonna do it. If there's no sanction, I'm not doing it because it's just not fair to everyone else who does follow by the rules. It's not fair. How do you get the drink? How do you get to continually miss? And then you're just gonna ride out it. You're just gonna get to move on. If we do that, we'll be see her back here in 6 months, 4 months, like the other kid here. And I don't want that to happen. You remember the other girl that we put in jail for 3 days? She's still doing fine. And I'm not saying it has to be today. You know, we can do a turn-in date of like maybe a week or so, but I want it to be soon. I'm not gonna do 6 months down the road, but I want it to be, you know, soon before she starts really getting into the program so that she realizes, okay, if I violate, this is what's gonna happen, but on a long-term basis. And I'm doing it so that she really gets it and understands it, right? What do you think?
I agree.
Let me know. I know that you go talk to Doug because I know that Doug's gonna flip too, you know, I know. But it's the only fair thing to do. And it's not a long time, but it's enough to wake up, get your attention. Hey, we mean business. We're not here to screw around. You know, you're at the wrong place. If you think that what you do at home, at work, however you treat other people, that may work over there, but it doesn't work here. What we would do is we would probably have her come in Friday night, you know, and then she would leave Sunday morning. Something like that. No. She'd be out Saturday in the middle of the night. But they were probably like 1 or 2 in the morning, release her. They won't even keep her for the full 2 days because really she'd be turning herself in at by 6 p.m. anyways. But I hope that it's enough to get her attention because that's what we want to do. Talk to her, and then if you want to talk to Doug and let anyone else know, just, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you know, I don't know how things go. You know, everybody does things differently. I don't want to, sorry, I didn't mean to. You guys let me know and then we'll go from there. And then, like I said, didn't have to go in now, but we'll soon, within, you know, like a week or so. Okay, all right. Thanks.
When their intention is out.
I'm not gonna revoke on technicals, not on, I don't want to host people upstairs. No, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Way, yes. Yes.
Okay, because we're wondering if we're gonna be forced to put up the felons down here for your.
No,
Okay.
no, I know. The last thing I want you guys to have to do or them put on a case down here or have them hose upstairs because of, no, we go.
Wouldn't, we just want.
Right. We always technicals, never on, you know, they're presumed, right?
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you want this back?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Come up. It was Taylor, right?
Mr. Keith Taylor Turner.
Yeah,
For
I
both
like
or
Turner,
just
I
one?
like Turner more.
You like Turner?
Turner.
No,
Turner?
Mr. Turner, you got spunk, man. If you
Have spunk.
know what spunk means?
Character.
You've got like a fire in you, right? If you channeled that in a great way into like school and try to do something like doctor, lawyer, dude, the world is in your palm. If you do something, go to school, get some knowledge, man, you could be so great with that fire that you have into you, channel it in a good way. You can do anything. Dude's not been working for how long? 4 months?
Yeah, I got an interview. I was supposed to have one today, but I knew this was gonna take forever, so I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
Your kids
At
still need to
Amazon.
eat, man.
Oh, they take care of it. I get my stuff taken care of.
You're supposed to take care of them, not someone else.
I pay child support. I haven't seen her in 10 years. So I don't know, tell you, she in another state.
I'm trying to tell you to do something worthwhile. Set lofty goals, man.
Job to interview tomorrow.
No more weed. I will test you again in 40 days from today. If you test positive for marijuana again, I'm gonna lock you up. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, don't smoke anymore. Don't come in here saying that you're in a car, everybody's hot boxing and whatnot, or you're at a party, this, that. Don't. Just stop using. Just do something great with your life. That's all we want. We want what's best for you. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. We've given you a lawyer. You have to stay in touch with her. She'll tell you when you have to come back to court. She tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games. Likewise, I'll issue a warrant for your arrest. You will not get any more PR bonds. So all I'm trying to do.
I never had one. It's okay.
You have one for this case.
Not one now.
I paid $100 for that.
He paid a bond. Was it a
Last
$100
week.
PR bond?
Last week. Or is it going today?
Hold on, let's,
I paid some last week.
he'll find out.
Yeah, it was a 2B. That's right.
Ah,
What happened was normally when someone gets arrested, we get them in jail, we give them a free bond, but because yours was an arrest warrant that was issued after the fact and you'd been gone, that's why you had to post a bond to get out. So, but what I'm letting you know is that there are no more PR bonds here. So if you pick up a new case, you start acting a fool, into jail you will go and the bond goes high. It's not no more $100, $200 of 5, 10, 15,000. So just be careful.
I know mine was 1.6 million. I know.
okay.
Have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
Yo, Mr. Elick.
Pushing out Luis Torres.
Okay.
And I believe he did test positive for THC.
Come up, Mr. Torres. What are you doing with yourself these days, Mr. Torres?
I've just been working, shit, taking care of my parents, nothing else to it.
What are you doing for a living?
Hotel remodeling, at the home remodeling.
Are you working full-time?
Yes, sir, at the moment I am.
What do you work for?
H-Tex remodeling.
So why is it that we can't get you here to show up?
Oh, at the, earlier last year and towards the end of the year, I was working for another company. I was doing military contracts. I was building crates and disassembling them. So I was traveling a lot. I wasn't around.
We gave you a lawyer. All you had to do was stay in contact with the lawyer. Now your
Never,
case
he
is.
never contacted me. I called him one time. After that, he never answered me. He never called me back. So I don't know.
Don't
what
throw the
happened.
lawyer under the bus. It's your responsibility. It's your case.
Yeah, well, I tried to keep in contact with him all the time, but I never got a hold of him again after the first time I talked to him.
And you come here. You know that you have an open case and there's no such thing as out of sight, out of mind, or out of mind, out of sight. You have an open case, and when you don't show up, there are consequences. Your case is now 640 days. What do we do?
Your Honor, I am still needing to get attached, so, and then I'll talk to the state and see what our options are, and if we
Do you
can
have an offer in this case?
Right now, there's not an offer on this case, no, Judge.
I'm putting an ankle monitor on you, Mr. Torres, so I know where you are at all times. If you ever take off of me again, likewise, your bond will go dead. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm also going to test you 40 days from today. You ever smoke weed again, likewise, your bond is gonna go up, puff, up in smoke like the weed smoke does. Your bond will do the same thing. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I guess what we'll do is we'll give you 2 weeks. You guys got to figure out what you got to do. But I'm not giving you any more time in 2 weeks. You must accept the plea bargain offer from the state, or else I'm going to set your case for trial. You don't have any more time after that. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you ever fail to stay in contact with Mr. Elick, the next time you're bond, I'm going to go nuts on it. We'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. You're now going to go get an ankle monitor today, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. All right.
Good.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, sure. I just was appointed Mr. Wilson.
What was your last name again, sir?
Wilson.
You got Mr. Wilson, correct, Jillian?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Trevor Wilson.
Jillian is the lawyer that we've appointed to represent you. It looks like the camera's a little cloudy, but she's there, I promise. Tell me about the test results for Mr. Wilson, will you please?
So I have it come back presently positive for alcohol, THC, and benzodiazepines.
I guess what I need you to do, Jillian, if you don't mind, is having a talk with Mr. Wilson. All that ends today. How old are you, sir?
18 years old.
You're not allowed to consume alcohol. You're
Understood.
not allowed to smoke weed. You're not allowed to use unprescribed controlled medication. If you have a problem, you better address it, because if you don't, I'm going to do it for you. And I promise you, do you have any clue? Do you have any shred of what they would do to you in jail, Mr. Wilson?
Fully aware.
Imagine your worst nightmare with a rag doll. Imagine, because we put you in jail. Holy moly, they're going to go nuts on you. You get my drift?
Yes, sir.
I hope you do, because it wouldn't be pretty. I'm going to have you step outside. I'm going to have you speak with Jillian. Okay, step outside.
Can I add something? real
Sure,
quick?
of course.
Is there any way that we can try to get a law in place on this for the complainant, Olivares? I have spoken to her this morning. She had to quit her job because the defendant was allegedly stalking her, going from store to store, trying to find her, was threatening her, came with a gun at one point. She claims to have everything on surveillance. She'll be sending it to me. She's.
Don't say anything. And Judge, I wouldn't like to hear probable cause if that's something the court will consider. I'm not
Of
attached.
course.
Yeah, I have
Please.
no issue, of course. One moment, Judge. On October 9th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a terroristic threat call at Bay City in Harris County, Texas. Officers made contact with the witness. The witness stated the defendant, who was an employee, arrived and began yelling, "Where the fuck is she at? Where is she at?" The witness stated he was confused as to who the defendant was referring to, and the defendant stated the name of Millie, the manager of the store. The witness stated he told the defendant the manager was not at the location, to which the defendant began yelling, "When she fucking comes back, you call me, you let me know, because I got something for her ass. She fired the wrong fucking one, and I hope it was worth the fucking job. Her ass is on the line." Witness stated he became afraid as the defendant got louder with each statement. The witness stated the defendant tapped a solid unknown item in the front side of his waistband, which the witness stated was possibly a gun. The witness stated he informed the complainant of the incident, and the complainant advised the defendant was recently fired. The complainant stated she reported the incident to management and was ordered not to go to the store. The complainant stated she was in fear for her life and felt unsafe going to work. When I spoke to her this morning, she has advised me that she has since quit because the defendant was contacting employees at various locations trying to track her down. And she has a child, and she's worried for her and her child's safety.
There's no dating relationship though, right?
No, he was an employee. She was the district manager of the franchise.
So I can't do the MOAP, but what I can do is I can put a monitor on him so I know where he is at all times. And
Well, I believe you can do a law based off stalking. He doesn't have to be charged with stalking. If we're alleging stalking as part of the facts, I believe you have.
let's see, hold on. Let's see. Do you have a code section that you can reference me to by chance, so I can just see it?
It's gonna be the Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292. And it just says in pertinent part, defendant's appearance before a magistrate after the arrest for an offense involving family violence or an offense under and stalking and harassment is alleged.
But it still has to be an offense involving family violence.
No, or it's not and.
Are we looking at section B? I'm looking really fast, so I haven't.
It's okay. It's Article 17.292. It says at a defendant's appearance before a magistrate after an arrest for an offense involving family violence or an offense under section, and it lists stalking and harassment statutes as well.
I mean, mine doesn't say that. Mine just says at a defendant's appearance before a magistrate after arrest for an offense involving family violence, comma, the magistrate shall issue. Has it been amended recently? I mean, mine says current as of January 1st, 2024. Maybe it's.
So, yeah, that doesn't sound like the most recent version of the statute. I don't know, or the code. I don't know when it was.
I mean, if you can show me, then.
Yeah, and I have it right. Can I approach Judge?
Of course. Yeah, yeah.
Judge. And Judge, even when we create our modes and intake, we allege not just family violence, we can allege stalking or harassment. It's one of the valid sections that it provides us when we create those in intake.
So you're referring to subsection A, where it says, or an offense under section 42.072? Because my understanding is that he has to be charged with that offense for it to fall under that.
No, it just says an offense involving that. It doesn't have to be specifically charged with
No,
harassment.
it said an offense involving family violence or an offense under
These sections, right? So 20, A, 2, and 3 are trafficking. 22.011, 12 are the sexual assault of offenses. I don't know what 42.072 is.
42.072 is the stalking one, but it has to be an offense under 42.072. If it's family violence, it can be any crime that involves family violence. But outside of that, it has to be specifically one of those charges. It has to.
They have to be charged at the minimum, I think, with the harassment. If he ends up getting charged with the harassment, I think I can, but it says an offense under those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So under those 6 enumerated offenses, I can give a protective order. I don't think I can. If you had charged it in the charging instrument as like a dating relationship, then I think I could. But Michael, I can still put a monitor on him so we know where he is at all times.
That's
fine, and then in the event, if he continues, then you charge him with the stalking. Right? You're walking thin ice, Mr. Wilson. You got to understand when a person means no, especially a court, no means no. It doesn't mean maybe, doesn't mean no. It just, you're not to use alcohol. You're not to use illegal drugs. You're not to use unprescribed controlled medication. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to test you like crazy. I'm putting a monitor so I know where you are at all times, and you're not to have any contact with this person. You're not to use any other person to try to get communication to this person. Don't go looking for her. Do you understand?
Clearly.
You're the one that's walking thin ice. The ice breaks, your ass is going to freeze, and that's it. I will do everything in my power to protect every person in this county at all costs. Life is not worth living in a 6x9 box, Mr. Wilson. It isn't. There's so many other fish in the sea. Learn to take rejection well. It's not the end of the world. You know, when something happens where you lose, or where you get fired from a job, it's not the end of the world. You may lose, but it's okay to lose. You get up, you dust yourself off, you move on to the next one. It's not the end of the world. You got but one life. And if you make that one catastrophic wrong decision where you, in essence, take someone else and ruin their life, you've also ruined yours. You may have ruined mom, dad, brothers, sisters, who knows who else, that you have around you that will impact you from making a wrong decision. It's not worth it. A lot of people, they hear me, they get out of the doors and they make the wrong decision immediately. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to show me that, okay, I've got a place for you. I don't want to have to put you there, but actions have consequences. Think before you act, think before you speak. And if you're nice, things will go well for you. So would you mind reaching out to her, letting her know that we've issued these orders? We've put a no contact order. We've also put a monitor on him so we know where he is. You're not to go within 1,000 feet of where she lives, where she works. Just don't. I'm also going to give you a curfew so you're not out in the middle of the night. Nothing good happens at 1 a.m. So I'm giving you a curfew of 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. for the moment. You understand?
That's fine.
If you can show me that I can trust you, it'll go a long way. But at the moment, I want to know that everybody here is protected. Time heals all wounds. And with time, you build trust. Just beware. Now, I've given you a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with Jillian. As soon as you get out of here, she's going to call you. You guys powwow, get on the same page. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games and you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, I'm going to tell you now, you will not get another PR bond. If you pick up a new case, start violating conditions, I'm going to put you in. If you don't have anyone to pony up 15,000 on the bond, 10,000, you'll be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over. You understand? Okay. All right. So I'll have you sign a wreath of Victoria. We'll have you meet for your bond conditions. And after that, you're free to go. And we'll have you talk to Jillian here. Okay.
You want a jury book?
That way.
So how long will we set?
Let's do 40 and then we'll have them come back and test. Yeah. Jillian, we're sending them out now, and then you guys could just get on the same page and let me know about anything. Huh?
Will do.
Thanks again for coming back.
Hey, Jen, ask her if she wants to put them on the 19th like her other.
That's fine.
Okay.
I have an appointment at 1:30. There's no way I'm gonna make it. Okay, can we just do the thing later, please? Guys, we're done. I have to get to my daughter 30 minutes. The appointment's at 1:30 and it's gonna take me 20 minutes just to go get her. I'm always so late. All right, bye, everybody. We love you. Thank you so much for hanging out. I gotta go be dad now. Greetings, everybody from Germany, where everybody, we love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, been another Tuesday. Another Judge Fleischer docket is in the books. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming out to the Fleischer Forum, hanging out and chatting about all the cases we see each day. It's always fun. Chat's always interesting. Always interesting, folks. If you want more of this type of stuff, come by each night. I turn things on a little bit before 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Play a little bit of music right before we get started. And then we get into the thick of things, which is what you've all been sitting here enjoying with. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got another one of these coming up tomorrow, and got some stuff to look forward to in tomorrow's docket. Then we got more wrapping up the rest of the week, and at the end of the week, we'll have our weekend review, which will not have any Fleischer at all in it, because we're doing them every single day of the week now. We'll find something else to watch on the weekends. That's all cool. Get a couple hours of stuff in. 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. I am your curator. I'm your host. I am your Lone Wolf Usul. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you. And I will see you all next time, if I am so honored to have your presence. Thank you all for being here. Peace. I'm out. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.